Hi, I'm Alex Nizick, and I'm standing in the main garage here at Consumer Reports Auto Test Center. And believe it or not, that is the brand new 2023 Toyota Prius. We got an XLE trim, which is right in the middle of the Prius lineup, and we got the optional all-wheel drive. So in the end, we paid $33,909 with destination. So the Prius kind of finds itself in a little bit of an awkward place in 2023. When it first came out, it was one of the very first hybrids on the market, and it was really focused on hyper practicality, really excellent fuel economy, storage space, all these things, and it was really weird looking. It's still weird looking, but Toyota had to differentiate it more from the other great hybrid options that are on the market now. So they traded some of that practicality for a more attractive look. It'll be really interesting to see how existing Prius fans receive this new Prius, since it's focusing less on practicality and more on design and a sporty driving experience. So the new Prius has a lot of really interesting design details. First of all, the wheels are relatively huge, so that makes it look a little bit more sporty. But one of the things I find pretty fascinating is this line right here. Most cars, they have a distinct hood that then kicks up into the windshield, right? And the old Prius had that. But this one, when you look at it from the side, it is almost a straight line from the hood all the way up into the A-pillar. Pretty crazy. Really gives the Prius that unique silhouette that it has. And the other thing that they did is move the peak of the roof. So the highest point of the roof, they moved that way back in the car. If you look at the outgoing Prius, it was somewhere around here over the driver and passenger's heads. Kind of gave it this weird bubble shape. They moved it way back. It makes it a lot sportier looking. The proportions are pretty crazy. But it does compromise interior space, and they lowered the roof quite a bit too. So interior is a little bit more cramped and the driving position suffers, but hey, it looks pretty cool. One area that you're paying for the cool new styling of the Prius is definitely in the cargo space. This space back here definitely looks a lot smaller. So we evaluate the cargo space on all our test vehicles here at Consumer Reports, so we'll see exactly how much smaller the 2023 Prius's cargo space is compared to the outgoing model. Another huge change for this new generation of Prius is actually under this stubby little hood. It now makes 196 horsepower, which is 75 more than the outgoing car. The Prius has always been known for fuel economy, and despite the new styling, that's still the case. Our car is rated for 49 miles per gallon combined by the EPA, but if you get the lower trim, the LE with just front wheel drive, it's rated for 57 miles per gallon by the EPA. Now, of course, we do our own fuel economy testing here at Consumer Reports, so we'll put this car through its paces and see just how those numbers compare to the EPA. The interior design of the Prius has always been pretty weird, and it's still weird, but it's a little bit better in some ways. So instead of the screen being mounted in the center and your gauges being in the center, now it's more in front of the driver, but it's still really far away. So we've seen this in some other Toyota vehicles, but ultimately what it means is I need to have the steering wheel a little bit lower to see over it to look at the gauge cluster. So this is definitely something that'll take getting used to. I would definitely recommend sitting in one of these cars for a while, test driving it thoroughly, and really making sure that this position works for you. So the cool new styling also impacts visibility. So these A-pillars are super long and they go out really far away from the driver. So that creates a little bit of a blind spot in that area. And the windshield is also pretty narrow too. And because the roof is a lot lower, all of the windows are a bit smaller than the old Prius. There are a bunch of little Easter eggs all over the Prius. And you'll see little badges throughout the car, but two of my favorite ones are here on the inside. Here inside the wireless charger, for some reason they decided to write #wireless charger. And one of the more ridiculous ones is under this little tray here. If I take this out, it says #hidden compartment. Not really sure what they were going for there, but this is one of my favorite wireless chargers. Your phone just drops in there nicely. My first impression is that I'm really liking the new Prius. I think it looks awesome and I can't wait to drive it more. It drives a lot better than the last one. But like always, we'll put it through more than 50 tests here at the Consumer Reports test track, including acceleration and braking, avoidance, maneuver, and handling. And we'll see how all of these wild changes that Toyota made to the Prius impact its score. So check back with us soon on consumerreports.org for the full test results.